Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing. We're damn near on path to hit 10,000 subscribers in under 2 months. Let's do it. Push that shit. Share that shit to people that you love, people that you know are struggling. And if that's you, hit the subscribe button. This story right here is going to be in reference to the video that I made on that Monterey Park shooting where that SWAT team broke the window, right, and cleared the van. Apparently there was a dead body in there. And I talked about one of my friends cut his arm wide open with a window. This happened in the city of Samara in Iraq. I was stationed in Balad on a FOB Palo Water. The city of Samara was similar to the city of Fallujah in the sense that it had been taken over by insurgents, the bad guys, and American troops could not necessarily push into that city. Every time they try to drive near that city, they would get hit. RPGs, small arms fire, mortars, etc. IEDs on the outside, on the outskirts. So that was their stronghold, right? That was their safe haven for the bad guys. Throughout our deployment, aside from doing raids, kicking in doors every night, like freaking 2 or 3 in the morning, and patrols, we had been gathering information, and they had been telling us, our company, our platoon, hey, you guys, we're going to hit Samara. We're going to take that city back. They must have told us that was going to happen 3 times and then stood us down 3 times, meaning we got all prepared, our emotions got high, we prepared all our gear and shit, our grenades and stuff like that. Well, one night, the lieutenant comes in, and this was the lieutenant that replaced the other lieutenant because the other lieutenant got wounded on the day that my buddy got killed, September 10th, 2004. So they replaced him. He comes in and he tells us, he comes into our little bay area and he's like, hey, we're going to hit Samara. We're going to hit Samara and we're not standing down. This is it. So we're like, damn, me and my best man, Garcia. So he's like, hey, briefing in the lieutenant's conference little area in our fob, right? So we all go over there. We're sitting around a big-ass table, and the lieutenant proceeds to tell us, hey, we're fucking going in. We're taking that shit back. Anybody have any questions? And I'm like, hey, sir, is there going to be people going about their business, like, putting gas, grocery shopping, like civilians, right? And he said, hey, the lieutenant colonel wants you to burn that fucking city to the ground. Everybody has given enough fair warning to leave that city, and anybody in there should be considered hostile. You guys have 0% collateral damage. So we're like, fuck. He said, every car that you see, blow it up. Whether it's with a grenade, an AT-4, that's one of those anti-tank bazooka-looking things, a javelin, an M203, that's the grenade launcher that you see on the bottom of the rifle on Scarface. Blow it up, because it can be a car bomb. And some of them were. There was a lot of car bombs in that 2004 on era. And, ooh, those were nasty. So, the adrenaline shoots up, right? We go back to the little barracks room, and I tell my best man, hey, if I get killed over there, to call my family, tell them something good about me. And he said, likewise, man. Fucking, we shook hands, we hugged, fucking start prepping our shit. Fucking, right, there was C4, the plastics explosives, we were fucking tying shit off. We were getting ready to fucking, and this was cool because up until that point, we had been on the defense. This was OIF-2, Operation Iraqi Freedom. Basically, we were like driving around like fucking sitting ducks and waiting until we got hit. Then we would react. So this was an offense type of movement. Like, hey, we're fucking pushing now. We are doing the fucking fighting, which was a good feeling, right? Nobody likes to get attacked when you're not expecting it. That's a shitty feeling. So we load up, dark 30, fucking nighttime, and the drive to Samara from Balad, fuck, I can't even remember. Probably like a 45-minute drive north, maybe 30 minutes to an hour north, right? We're in a convoy, so we're kind of pushing slow. I'm in a 113, those little armored personnel carriers that you see in Vietnam. I'm in there with Iraqi National Guard forces, the ING, right? Iraqis that joined their army. And we would train them all the time. So we stopped on the outskirts of the city. This was October 1st, 2004. Operation Baton Rouge. That's the name of that operation. This was 1 month prior to Operation Phantom Fury in Fallujah. We're on the outskirts. It's nighttime. That whole city lit up. I'm talking about every American artillery bombs was being dropped on that city. Everything. AC-130 gunships, mortars, freaking artillery. It looked like the 4th of July, the craziest 4th of July I ever seen, with the exception of, hey, you knew people were dying down there. For sure, 100%. That fucking, the sky was lighting up, the ground was lighting up, shit was blowing up. It was a sight to be seen. That's something I'm never going to forget. It was like awe-striking. It was kind of beautiful. It was fucking nuts. So we get back in the Humvees, I get back in the 113 in the back, right? You can't see shit. You're crowded. Extremely crowded. Shoulder to shoulder, right? You got your weapon right here in between your legs. The TC comes down and says, hey, the fight has already started. We've already killed 20 enemy KIA. My knee started shaking, man. It was like a surge of emotion, like fear, adrenaline. It just started like uncontrollably shaking. So I physically got my hands and I put it down and I was like, breathe. Because that's what you learn in the military. You learn how to take combat breath, right? Supply that oxygen to your brain. And that calmed me down for the most part. So our driver was Hill, the skinny white dude from Texas, man. I was with him since day one, since basic training. We got to Germany together. Now we were in Iraq together. Real nerdy dude, but real good guy. So he's in the driver's seat. He has a view of what's going on. We don't. So I say, Hill. His last name was Hill. Hill, how close are we to the city? He's like, we're right up on it. I fucking stand up. I shit you not. We were right up on the fucking city. It was buildings right in front of us. Right, like right there. I'm like, oh my God, this is it. Like something out of Black Hawk Down, right? Like, this is it. It didn't take long before everybody opened up on the American forces side. Everything, 50 cals, M1A1s, main guns, the tank's main guns, just fucking lit that whole first row of houses up. Right? Then, mind you, here's the city. We were attacking from the south. There was other American forces attacking from the north. The game plan was to push the insert, trap them, push them in the middle, and then kill them off. Right? That's what we did as grunts, infantry. So, and I mentioned infantry because everybody's MOS was different in the military. This was our job. This is what the fuck we had trained for, what we wanted, what we prayed to God for, what we had signed up for the military for. This was it, right? Fucking opens up. My job at that time, they had assigned me to hang out in the back of the 113, which I didn't like, but you're not going to question authority. So, I see a squad of soldiers go up to this front door of this house. They were about to hit the house, then they run back. Well, a big ass fucking explosion went off. I kind of put my head down like that. Didn't expect it. These fucking assholes threw a grenade at the front door and never yelled frag out. You're kind of supposed to yell frag out to let other people know you just threw a grenade. Right? Look, I didn't get fucked up or anything. It just caught me off guard. They hit the house. Now we're pushing. We're pushing, pushing, pushing. We are hitting house after house after house. I want to say that was the first time I got shot at. I was in the back of the 113. You hear the whizzing like, pew, pew, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't get scared. I got mad. I got mad like the audacity of this son of a bitch, whoever it is shooting at me. Because you couldn't see who was shooting at you. It was a city. A city. There was some like, right, we're fighting, we're there, we're pushing, we're pushing, we're pushing. We hit a schoolyard. The schoolyard was our like home base. We made a base out of it. That's where we did operations out of once we took over. It took 3 days. It took 3 days of fighting, of offense for us to reach the main shit. And then that's when it kind of died down as far as like the bad guys had either gotten killed or left. They fled. We were fighting all their shit. We were fucking finding caches of weapons. Like these dudes had planned it out. They had like staged like RPGs on the rooftop, machine guns, ammo. Like these dudes would just hit, run, shoot, run, like fucking cat and mouse, man. Guerrilla warfare. We were finding it all. It was all there. There was daisy-chained IEDs, daisy-chained roadside bombs, which meant that they put roadside bomb with a fucking copper wire, another roadside bomb, another roadside bomb. So you would have like a row down the street of roadside bombs. It's kind of crazy, right? That would fuck some shit up for sure. After the 3 days of initial pushing, now we are doing patrols and we're still hitting houses, but we're kind of hitting them at a slower pace, more so like tactically, like fucking. We're still pushing through neighborhoods. As a matter of fact, now we're clearing backwards. We're doing this, we're doing that. Well, in Iraq, I've kicked in over 1,000 doors. I'm not exaggerating when I say I've kicked in over 1,000 doors. That's something I always wanted to do as a kid. I wanted to be in the SWAT team. Well, this was it, my chance. I kicked every single door in Iraq except for one. This happened in Samara. And it wasn't like a fortress of a door. It was the same kind of aluminum door that they had, like light sheet metal. It just couldn't come open. There was a fucking propane tank on the ground. I'm hitting the fucking door with a propane tank. I'm doing it. I'm kicking it my hardest. I didn't weigh much at that time. I was probably like $145. Lost a lot of weight in Iraq. Fucking kicking it, trying, didn't open, right? So they're like, hey, fuck it. Go through the window. O'Toole was our buddy. So we fucking get from St. Louis, I want to say. We break the window to the kitchen from the outside. This dude comes in. He clears the house by himself. I don't know if you guys have ever heard stories or rumors. In Iraq, we were clearing houses with one person. I swear to God we were. A lot of the times. It was not abnormal to be one person clear a whole fucking entire house by themselves. That's not how we trained. We trained like 2 teams of 4, so 8 people are supposed to clear a house. At the least, 4 guys will clear a house. We definitely were doing one-man house clearing, not even room clearing. O'Toole goes in there, clears the fucking house, comes out. As this dude is climbing out of the kitchen, he falls backwards. He starts falling back, and fuck, man. He reached to grab, and this is where it went wrong. He was better off just falling and eating shit, even probably getting knocked out. He reached, but when he did, that fucking kitchen window caught him right here and just ripped his whole fucking arm open. Boom, falls back. This dude is fucking gushing. This dude's bleeding. Start bandaging him up. I still don't think that took him out of the fight. I think we bandaged him up. He was still with us, like, so we were still pushing. But that was that story. Yeah, there was more crazy shit that happened. It's going to be other videos. I'm not going to tie up your time with that. But that's just how shit was wild, right? 2004, I say it was wild. Samara was wild. That's kind of something you don't expect. Your buddy falling through the fucking window and cutting his arm open, right? With that being said, the message for today, right? And I just love to throw positive messages out there because we can, right? It's going to be, what's it going to be? It's going to be training, all right? Training, proper training. Not that it was a lack of training that caused that, but just prepare for the worst. In anything you do, prepare for the worst, right? What do they say? Train for war, but pray for peace. Do that one, all right? Keep pushing forward.